Hey guys, my name's Evan. I'm 26 and I'm a secret hoarder. It's a strange habit, but before I tell you more, take a second to like and subscribe for more hidden wisdom stories. I have this tendency to get my foot stuck in my mouth. One of the best examples would be the time I accidentally insulted my future girlfriend when I was trying to hit on her. Me and my childhood friend Dougie were hanging around this arcade, and I noticed this girl that was like way out of my league, and Dougie talked me into saying hi. I didn't want to look like some dork slap in front of my pal, so I tried to act all James Bond. But I made a fool of myself. At first, it wasn't such a train wreck. Her name was Betsy, and she was a Marine. When she said that she scared some guys off and asked if I was intimidated by a woman soldier, I said, hey, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Well, she stopped smiling and accused me of calling her trash. No, I said, but she was already sore about it, and I thought that I made the worst impression ever. But would you believe that she gave me her number and it was actually real? I almost fell over when she agreed to go out with me. We really hit it off, despite being kind of an odd couple. But then things got awkward when she asked to cook for me. She thought an intimate dinner at my place would be nice. But I had this secret that I guess I should talk about now. I'm a hoarder, so my place wasn't really comfortable for guests. I thought I could fake her out and make the place feel normal. I started with the kitchen, which was filled with vinyl records and old comic books. I moved some into my car, into corners, and into cabinets. But no matter how much I tried to Tetris the place around, I couldn't seem to find enough space. And I flippin' lost it. I was imagining worst-case scenarios. Betsy would be disgusted by me and leave me. And just as fast as I found a girlfriend, I'd be back to Lonesome Town again. And for a second, I thought about getting rid of some of my stuff. Just take it out to the dumpster and be done with it. But I couldn't make myself do it. Maybe it looks like junk to others, but these boxes were filled with impossible bargains and old sentiments. A cache of memories you can't put a price tag on, let alone drag to the dumpster. I was smacking my head, trying to jog an idea loose. But just as I was at my wit's end, Betsy called me with bad news. Her unit had been called to move, and she had to report to duty that very night. It was a rushed but romantic goodbye, and Betsy told me that I'd be in her heart. When she hung up, I almost collapsed from the emotional roller coaster ride. I had been saved, and I think that was the first time I admitted to myself that maybe I had a problem with hoarding. It all started with this feeling of elation I got when I stumbled onto this amazing find at a garage sale back when I was still in high school. I bought a pack of baseball cards for $1, and inside was this Babe Ruth rookie card. I didn't even know who this chocolate bar baseball player was, but Dougie told me that it was like finding gold, and it was a feeling of excitement that I'll never forget. From then on, I scoured garage sales, assuming that what everybody was discarding had some forgotten value that I just needed to get back in touch with. I guess that's what got me started as a collector. It wasn't just baseball cards. It was records, and comics, and video games. I collected toys and action figures of all kinds. And I even got into vintage movie posters. By the time I was graduating, I could tell you all sorts of facts about these collectibles, and I started my own blog, reviewing everything from G.I. Joe to Teddy Ruxpin. I wrote more and more reviews, and my writing was getting picked up by some pretty big magazines and websites. It wasn't a bad way to earn a buck, but now that I wanted to make room for Betsy, my obsessions had become a problem. The truth was, I worried about Betsy out there being a Marine, doing whatever it was that Marines did. She reminded me of Lady J from the G.I. Joes, and I tracked down several figurines. It became an obsession, and I scoured the internet. Betsy and I corresponded with emails and video chats, and we talked on the phone all the time. But I missed her. and the only thing that seemed to fill the gap was more and more Lady J collectibles. Whenever Betsy would want a video chat, I'd have to angle my computer just right to make my place seem normal. I was afraid of what would happen when she saw it, and I was half hoping the day would never come. But it did. One night when I was falling asleep talking to Betsy. She said that when she came home from her tour, she didn't want to stay with her parents. She wanted to stay with me. I was thrilled, but terrified at the same time. I asked Dougie to come over and help me clean up, but he was shocked. "How can you live like this?" he said. But he didn't understand that these bargains and sentiments were irreplaceable. When he tried to create a throwaway pile, I freaked. I think I sort of slipped into some kind of denial because I was fantasizing about this idea where Betsy wouldn't mind the hoarding. I imagined that she too was a secret hoarder and we'd have a hoarder's romance. I imagined that she would see the same value in all my collectibles and their importance. But when I heard the knock on my door, my stomach sank. I opened the door and said, "Welcome home." But she looked like she didn't even recognize me. My hoarding totally ruined everything. After my awkward welcome, Betsy asked what was going on in my house, and I tried to play it cool. I said I had some stuff I still needed to clear out. I talked her into staying, but she didn't know where she could put her stuff. She asked if she could at least take a bath, but I had to move my collection of back scratchers. And before I can get them all out, Betsy said that maybe she should stay with her parents until I made room for her. We talked on the phone over the next week while I was supposed to be getting rid of things, but I couldn't part with anything. She kept asking how it was going, and I finally buckled and told her how attached I was to all this stuff. "So you're a hoarder?" she said, and I guess it was true. But I tried to explain myself further. I told her about how when she was gone, I started collecting Lady G.I. Joes, and it made me feel closer to her. But she got suddenly irritated and didn't really want to talk anymore, so she got off the phone. I just couldn't win with this girl, and I was bellyaching about it to Dougie. I told him about all the Lady G.I. Joes, but he didn't understand my side at all. He just sat there looking at me like I grew a second head. Then he said something that really stuck with me. He said, "Would you rather have her or a bunch of junk that reminds you of her?" I couldn't answer the question. And now, when I looked at those Lady J G.I. Joes, they made me sad. And I didn't want them around as a reminder. In a fit of emotion, I grabbed them all up and was taking them to the dumpster when this little kid asked if I was throwing them all away. I asked him if he wanted them, and his face looked like Christmas morning. The next week, I saw the kid riding around on a brand new bike. I asked him how the toy collection was, and he said he sold it for hundreds of dollars on eBay. And that's how he bought his bike. I realized that maybe there was a way I could turn my obsession into value. That day, I went way into the back of my closet and found that Babe Ruth rookie card. And I looked it up, and I almost collapsed at the price. I didn't know if Betsy was going to give me a second chance or not, but I ended up purging myself of most of my collectibles. But with the money I got from the Babe Ruth card, I bought myself a bigger place with bigger storage closets. And finally, there was room for Betsy. It's true what they say out there. One man's trash is another man's treasure. I had to figure out what Betsy was to me. And I knew without a doubt that she was my greatest treasure. So I had to treat her that way. She should be coming by any minute now, and I'm hoping that she likes it enough to stay. So, what's your most treasured item? Tell us about it in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more Hidden Wisdom stories. Remember, when you're sharing our stories, you're sharing wisdom.